Welcome! This is Solopreneur Success Strategies, where we talk about mindset, your website, your brand, your social media marketing, your customers, how to sell to your customers, how to find your customers, how to talk about the skills and knowledge you need in your business, and free software and tools to help you save time, money, and be more productive, as well as strategy and systems here on Solopreneur Success Strategies. Welcome! Welcome. This is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Solopreneur Success Strategies. And today is Get Your Message Out Tuesday, which is all about your brand, your messaging, and you, and your website and your social media and everything else that you use for your brand. So we've been doing this for a while, and today we're going to be talking about Pinterest. We've already talked about Facebook and Twitter for a bit. And we're going to look at Pinterest as a brand builder and whether or not you should be on that platform. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jane Gardner, and I work with my husband in a structural engineering firm in Western Canada. And about 3 years ago, I came onto the internet to help others to do business. But today, we're going to be talking about Pinterest. And I guess we should go over also some of the things that we've gone through so far when it comes to your brand, which is basically your messaging on the internet. So let's go have a look at Get Your Message Out Tuesday. So we have looked at various things about your brand, and I have an offer for Build Your Own Brand in a Week at jgtips.com/brand, and it's an email, website, webinar type of training where you can think about how to identify your unique benefits of your business and differentiate you from your competitors, identify your core market, name your product, and develop your brand messaging and measure your brand effectiveness, give you all the tools on how to reassess and refine your messaging, as well as do some testing and get some feedback from me on how to do it. So you can go and look at that at jgtips.com/brand. It's an early bird offer, and I'll be doing a webinar soon, hopefully, about building your own brand in a week. But once you have your messaging, you can attract your ideal customer. And of course, your ideal customer is the one who will buy your stuff quicker and easier. So how many people are on the internet? Well, there's almost 3.5 billion by now, I think, people since we've started this course on the internet every day. And from those people, you should be able to get your messaging out there and your brand such that you will be able to connect with the people who want the solution to their problem from you. So we had to look at how to do that, how to get your message, how to define your message by looking at you and your brand. And then we looked at how to put your brand messaging onto your website. And we're looking at some of the various social media platforms now and how to brand your website to make the messaging work with who you are, as well as which ones might be better for you in terms of your business versus others. So looking at the different features of some of the social media platforms so you can decide whether or not you want to take the time to get involved with them. And of course, we looked at what your brand is, and your brand is your promise, your commitment, what you stand for and stand against in your business. You can have a logo and you can have brand elements and brand colors, but in the end, it's all about you, and it's all about what you represent, your values, your mission, your promises, and your commitment and your values. So it's all about your messaging, and so your messaging should be consistent, and it should be accepted and attractive to your customer and have a unique edge to differentiate yourself from your competitors. So we've had that look at that in previous episodes of Solopreneur Success Strategies Get Your Message Out Tuesday. So you can go find some of those on the YouTube channel at jgtips.com/YouTube. And we looked also at how to brand or have the messaging on your website such that your homepage, your About Us page, your Start Here page, and the blog, and even all your other pages, including your 404 error, all reflect you and your brand. And then we had a look at Facebook, and we've had a look at Twitter and how to get them to be complementary to your brand messaging and work with your brand messaging. And today we're going to be looking at Pinterest in terms of it being a brand builder rather than just how to set it up. So we'll just have a quick look at Pinterest, and so you can decide whether or not it's a place that you want to be. So how do you use Pinterest as a brand builder? Well, first you have to decide, of course, whether or not you want to be on Pinterest, whether or not your business is going to work on Pinterest. But of course, the first thing that you have to decide before that is to convert your account to a business account. So you log in, and from the drop-down menu, select for business and hit the convert button, and the business page pops up, because this will give you the features like advertising and pin it, promote your pins, etc., because you are a business, and advertising, of course, because to get your rather than having it as a personal page. So should you convert? Well, of course, is one of the disadvantages to converting to a business page is you can't go backwards. It can't be undone. So you'd have to go get a new one if you wanted to change it back to a personal one with a new name, etc. You can't verify a WordPress blog. Those are the free blogs. So you can't, they don't recognize those. They want them to be self-administered. And only one admin can manage the account, and only one email can be linked. And there's no custom URL yet. There might be in the future. And of course, you can't move business boards from another account onto this account. It's all unique to your verified website, and which is the advantage. And you can add a pin it button. And of course, verifying the website adds social validity. You can change the business name, and you can target specific areas of business. And of course, you can add a widget to your site for followers to go back to Pinterest from your website. So that is a good reason to have it as a business. And what you can do right away is you can just go sign up, and you can add a pin it button, of course, and a follow button, and a bookmarklet to collect some pins. So you install the pin it bookmarklet, and so you can pin other people's pictures easily onto your, of course, Pinterest boards. And we're not going to go over some of the simpler stuff on how to set up Pinterest. So hopefully you know what a Pinterest board is. And of course, you can install apps for iPhone, iPad, or Android. And you can find all of this in the goodies section at Pinterest/goodies. And of course, you can snap original photos on your phone and then pin them immediately from your iPhone app or your Android app, Pinterest app, onto your board. You can install a follow button on your site. And this is also found in the goodies section on Pinterest, and encourage other people to follow you on Pinterest by having that follow button on your website. And you can install a pin it button on your site, also found in the goodies section, which grants permission for other people to pin and share your images. And of course, that means they pin it to their boards, so your pins also will get spread out into the Pinterest environment. So it helps build traffic, loyalty, and trust. So what is your goal for having Pinterest? So have an objective and stay focused will increase your satisfaction with Pinterest. So what you have to do is you have to ask yourself, I think we don't have the question. Yeah, ask these questions. How would photo sharing and pinning help my business? And what will photo sharing and pinning do for my audience? How will this increase my visibility as a resource? What do I want to achieve by using Pinterest, and how am I going to do that? And will allowing others to pin my photos detract from my business if they're on their boards as well? And are there any hidden pitfalls I hadn't thought about? And is photo sharing relevant to my business? Is this the strategy I should be focusing on right now? So having an objective and staying focused will increase your satisfaction. For example, if we look at Etsy.com, for those of you who don't, you can go do a search for etsy.com. This is a place where people sell their products, their jewelry, their boots, their clothing, their all kinds of items for sale on Etsy. And of course, people love to pin items and pictures of boots and jewelry and all that kind of thing. So having the ability to have photos of the items for sale increases the attractiveness of the pin, and a lot more people will pin your pins. And they want to provide visual inspiration to increase their sales, so they get spread out onto the internet. If someone has a pin board that is called jewelry that I like, for example, that will certainly build up with different pictures of people's jewelry being sold on Etsy. So that will, of course, increase their links back to Etsy and their Etsy website. And of course, you can feature guest pinners as well. You can invite others to pin onto your board. It just depends. Etsy is, of course, very happy with the results because Pinterest works well with them. So you have to figure out first whether or not Pinterest will work well for your business in terms of what you do. Believe it or not, you would be surprised at who is on Pinterest and who has so many followers. It's amazing. I was looking at one website and it was all about vacuums and pictures of vacuums. I mean, yes. I mean, there's a lot of DIY handicrafts on Pinterest. Certainly we can do a whole subject on Pinterest, but what we're looking at is your brand and whether it's worth it for your brand. So if you have a business that is going to be about photos or about education or about selling something, Pinterest may be the place to be, but you have to decide. You can't have anyone else decide what is the most attractive for you to be on Pinterest with your brand and your messaging. So you have to ask again, how will sharing photos help you in your business in terms of will it be attractive for other people? They also share infographics, and they also share recipes. They share DIY, as I mentioned, but usually it includes a photo and quotes. I mean, we can go have a look at it next week, and I'll show you some of the amazing number of followers that people have in terms of their business. But for now, let's just continue on. So which strategy would work best for you? Providing permanent posting power. Would pins and pin boards, they're kept forever, so they will last forever. Whereas Twitter and Facebook posts disappear quickly, Pinterest boards stay forever. So it might be worth using Pinterest just for that, because it's easier also to search through your past pins, allowing for others to also repin your images so they're not lost. And also, which strategies would work better for you other than photos of photos? How about providing information? Target your visual learners with images. Create powerful and easy to understand infographics. And also share videos on Pinterest. Also, you can connect with other pinners. You can create optimized pin boards that you can share with others to have them pin on your board. Also, it attracts visual learners who may not like text or audio content. You can also reach out to people who are usually popular in your niche and ask if you can pin some of their pins to your board. You can repin, of course, anytime someone has a pinnable pin on their pin. You can then pin it to your board, and also you can like and you can comment on other people's pin boards and get connected with people that way. If you're in the same field, for example, in fashion, for example, in in creating hats, let's say, and you connect with others who create hats, that makes for a good relationship. And it's good for your brand if they pin it on their boards. And of course, you want to make Pinterest your own. You want to be original. You don't want to just pin other people's pins onto your board. You don't want to follow the crowd. You want to create your own categories with keywords that will attract others when they do a search for those keywords. You want to make your own formats, themes, and interpretations, and give your entire Pinterest collection a strong identity. So you could also consider Pinterest advertising. They've increased their advertising since I wrote these slides, but you can create brand awareness and visibility by advertising certain pins. You can connect with more pinners by advertising because your reach increases. And you can try repinly.com/advertise. You can appear on a sponsored pinners list. You can do a category sponsorship. You can do sponsored pins. And you can do even a rectangle banner or a sponsored newsletter. Each pinned photo should be one of the following and always unmessage when it comes to your brand. You can have a visual feast. You can be hilariously funny, moving, inspiring, bizarre, astonishing, informative, educational, useful, helpful, DIY, beautiful, and easy to absorb. All the pins are easy to absorb, so you don't have to write too much text. And in fact, you can just pin the photo from your blog post to your pin boards, and then when people click on the pin, they can go back to your blog to read more information. So it's a link to your blog. And you can make full use of resources, tracking and tweaking, which you can look and see which pins go viral, which have the most shares. And you can find your URL in your Pinterest settings and see all your pins and their activity, and use Repinly for stats. And using Repinly for stats is repinly.com. You'll get a Pinterest score and popularity rank, number of followers, activity information on boards, likes, and pins. And so far it was free to join, but we'll see later. So make full use of your resources. Take credit when credit is due for your images. Don't use other people's images without their permission. Use stock photo, you can. When you pay for them, you can watermark your original images so others can't use them as their originals. You can use an app to create a digital watermark like PicMonkey or iWatermark. And you can enhance your photo pins by editing them, and you can create infographics. You can use PicMonkey or easel.ly or PictoChart or visual.ly and create online infographics and be creative with your pins. And you can use word clouds at wordle.net. Those are also very popular. So some of the things that you should do in terms of Pinterest, and this is after you decide if you want to be there, you have to, of course, go and have a look. 70% of the people there are women, so you might want to see if your audience is there or not. There are men. You can invite a guest pinner to your site. You can use images on your site your audience will love to share. Create a separate photos you can pin gallery on your site so that you can have people pin those from there. And you can use keywords, categories, and hashtags to reach your targeted audience, very much like some of the other social media platforms. But always remember about your brand. Pin consistently, it'll become a habit, and it won't clutter up your boards. Give each one a theme and stick to it. Use call to actions to get them back to your blog or get them to take an action. Watch what your competitors are doing, strive for quality, and engage their emotions. So I hope that gives you some idea on Pinterest and whether or not you should go check it out and see if it works for your business. For the Build Your Own Brand Early Adopter offer, go to jgtips.com/brand and you can contact me at jgardner@jane-gardner.com with any questions. Or you can go and check out my YouTube channel at jgtips.com/YouTube YouTube. Yeah, jgtips.com/YouTube. So this is Jane Gardner, and I hope that gives you some idea on whether or not you should go and do Pinterest. It's certainly just even looking at the photos, the pins that were on this slide presentation will give you an idea. We'll see. Maybe I will go over there next week and I'll try and find a tough one. Find something that's not easy to find and see whether or not you can see that it has a variety of businesses on it and people that find things interesting that might find what's you're interesting and your business as well. So please subscribe, comment, and like my YouTube channel at jgtips.com/YouTube. Thank you for listening. This has been Jane Gardner at Solopreneur Success Strategies. Please go and subscribe at jgtips.com/programs, and also to find out about other programs as well over at jgtips.com/programs. And over there we have a free mindset magazine for you to check out at jgtips.com/mindset offer. So welcome. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you again here tomorrow, as this is a 7-day-a-week show on mindset, your customer, getting your message out on social media and on your website, talking about strategies, talking about business systems, talking about all kinds of things, including the skills you need as a solopreneur. So please come back and subscribe at jgtips.com/programs. Thank you.